Good afternoon, folks. My name is John.
And I'm Connie. Welcome to our channel. We are in Florida, in the Panhandle. We've been here for, I don't know, a week and a half.
5 days, week and a half, yeah, that's right.
But what this video is about today is 5 things
That we hate about our van.
I hate about van life and 5 things that John hates. They're different things.
So the one thing that I found a little irritating about living in a van is probably due to my age. I'm 59 years old, and it's when it's in the morning and it's time to go to the bathroom after you've been sleeping all night. Well, in my case, it's all night because I have a bad bladder, or whatever the case may be. But I have realized that I've had to try to break some mental thought in my head that when I lived in an apartment or I lived in a house and the bathroom was 5-10 feet away from your master bedroom or wherever you slept, I could sleep to the last minute before I had to go to the bathroom. Well, that's not the case when you're in a van. Our van does have a bathroom, but anytime that we're in a campground, we constantly use the bathrooms that are in the campground, and you literally, my timing is very poor, let's say. I probably pissed my pants 5 times getting to the bathroom door, which is really irritating. The last 5 feet of it, and I can't hold it. But I hate that about van life.
Okay. Mine is making the bed. So it's like you're in aerobics class or something, or yoga, if we did that. But so like probably for the first month we totally made the bed, the sheets, the blankets, and after about a month, I would say, I got sick of it, and so now we just have like a fitted sheet and a blanket we lay on, and then I have a blanket for night, and so does John. So then in the morning we just straighten out our bed and fold our blankets, and that's that.
But in all defense, the reason we haven't made our bed in a month is because now we're driving the van. We have a trailer on the back of the van that carries our electric bikes in Daisy's chariot, or cage, or whatever you want to call the thing that's on wheels, her trailer. And it is a lot easier when someone's in the back of the van, somebody's in the front of the van to make the bed. So that's another reason why we haven't made the bed, is because the trailer's on the back and we cannot open up our back doors.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the second one?
Yeah, the second one, since we're on the bed thing, is I hate getting in and out of the bed because, like Connie said, you either have to be into yoga or aerobics or, I don't know, to me, I feel like I'm a damn inchworm. I gotta sit and move like an inch at a time to get out of the bed because the bed sure is a king size, but the way to get in and out is only 2.5 feet, 3 feet wide at the most. So when you're at the end of the bed, it's just a nightmare. You got cabinets that are hanging over your head. You know, it's just, I hate getting in and out of the bed.
Second thing that I hate about living in a van, now that we're in Florida, I just thought of this today, is like today it's beautiful out, it's 74 and sunny, but guess what? It's hot in the van. And if we're not hooked to electricity, it's too hot. It will be too hot to sleep in there.
And it's the same thing
And
with the
it's
cold.
too hot to leave the dog in there.
And it's the same thing with the cold. The van is extremely cold or it's extremely hot. Because it doesn't
You
have...
get your turn.
Oh. I was elaborating on your
Okay,
hate.
go ahead. Your third one.
My hate is up. Third one's up. Moving around in the van is something that I have not gotten used to. If it isn't the noise, it's the movement of the van. So Daisy can literally just jump off the bed in the middle of the night, and I think there's a Sasquatch outside the van rocking it back and forth. And it just, the noise that it makes and the constant feeling of that you're on a boat. It's like you just get almost like a seasickness. Not a seasickness, but you get the feeling of the motion of everything moving every time you do something that's in the van. And especially when we have to put the van up on blocks to level the van out, so when we're sleeping, if we're on a campground or whatever, the ground that we're on is unlevel, and we put 2x4s or I call them jacks, but just something underneath the wheel to level the van out, that makes it even worse. You're up, honey.
Getting in and out of the van. multiple times a day is irritating and hard on your body, especially if you have a sore back. And I have an artificial knee, so in and out of the van.
Okay, fourth one up.
One step down.
The fourth one is up. I hate the feeling that I get when we leave the van, especially when we pull into a city that we've never been in before. And as an example, yesterday, we pulled in, we went to a pier, Connie hung around the beach, I went fishing. But when I came back, I've noticed that when I leave the van, I constantly have this fear in the back of my van that it's gonna go missing.
Back of your mind.
The back of my mind, what did I say?
Back of my van.
Back of my mind. Anyways, it might be due to the fact that I've had 5 vehicles stolen in a lifetime. If it disappears, it has everything that we own in it. It has our money, it has all our clothes, it has, not like the groceries mean anything, but it's like your house. But it's your van. Yesterday I noticed it when I came back. I know that every time we leave, going to a department store or we're away for an hour, the first thing I do when I get out of the doors of the building is look for the van, because I want to make sure it's there just to have that ease of mind.
Okay, what number are we on? 4?
We're on 4. We have one more after this.
So the fourth one, and these are in no order.
Correct.
The fourth one is keeping the van clean and the floor, mainly. We're sweeping the floor, and our floor is fiberglass because of the shower. The floor
has a drain in it.
It has a drain in it.
It's just
and
a
so
fiberglass.
It's made out of fiberglass. So to make it stronger, we put some rubber mats down. So when we are stationary, because we've been moving a lot, but when we are at a stationary like campsite for a few days, we'll take the rubber mats out, clean them, sweep the floor, clean it, and then put it all back together. But we did buy a battery operated rechargeable little vacuum cleaner, so that has helped some. Now we're down in Florida, so everything is sand, and that's even worse. So keeping the floor clean.
All right, my final one. I think I could probably come up with 3 more, but is emptying our black tank, the septic system. I hate it. First of all, you pull up to a septic dropping station that's usually in a campground, and it is wet everywhere around the station where people are hooking up. I get this constant feeling that I'm laying in other people's waste. And the reason I got to lay at Neil is because the road trek has the septic system a foot off of the ground where the hose comes out. And you got to connect another hose to it to bring it to where it dumps into the ground. So there's just no way of getting around it. And you constantly, I lay on a mat to protect myself, but you turn one position, you come off the mat, next thing you know, you're laying in somebody else's golden showers, and it irritates the shit out of me. I hate it. 5th and final for Connie.
Sharing such a small, I don't mind the small space. Actually, I like the small space. But sharing the small space with someone else. And it's not necessarily John. It could be anybody. It's a van. And it's very...
and when we say share a space, we're not, you look at the van, you think you have this whole van. You don't have the whole van. All the space that you're sharing is the hallway. Aware of all the corners.
Always adding to my stuff.
Adding to the hate list. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
This was supposed to be 5 individual hates between the 2 of us, and of course I've started talking too much.
Okay, so
you don't have to whisper that. She just said always.
Your 5th and final one.
That was my 5th one, but I'll throw another one in there. The van. We don't use the kitchen necessarily, or the oven that's in the kitchen, so I do all the dishes and the cooking outside. So it's not that I really hate it, but it is a little irritating running back and forth into the van. But Connie's made it a lot easier. When somebody's in the van, they can hand you items while you're outside of the van, so you're not crawling in. But typically, sometimes I was doing dishes outside when it was 22 degrees, and in Destin, Florida, when we were camping at a campsite, because we do all our dishes outside. So that, and then you gotta walk. Sometimes you gotta walk to get the hot water, and you're doing this at night. In Florida, feels like the jungle. I swear to God. Any rustle of anything scares the daylights out of me, and I hate it. It happened to me one night when I was walking down the path through the freaking jungle, which is what it feels like, because it's all these plants and trees I ain't never seen before. And literally, it was probably a squirrel. But anyways, the doggone bushes rattled, and it scared the daylights out of me.
He
ran
back to the van.
I ran back to the van.
But anyway, so those are the 5 things I hate and the 5 things John hates. And I think we pretty much hate all the same things.
We do. And it's there's a lot of things that you would have never thought of that comes up in the van. It's not a house. It's not stable.
Can I add one more thing? Because you added one more thing.
Sure.
This might be 6 things we hate about a van.
We'll change it up.
Is when we have to bring it in for service, or if the van breaks down and it's in the shop, because it is our house. And so for that day or 2 days, that happened in Georgia, it was in the shop for 2 days. Thankfully, we were with friends and we could stay there. But just the other day, we brought it in for 2 more tires, and it took them 2.5 hours to put 2 tires on. And so and because we have Daisy, it kind of limits us to what we can do in a Walmart parking lot. Like, we can't bring Daisy in to go shopping. You're at other people's mercy, I guess, and that's what I don't like.
It's your home. We're gonna wrap this video up, and
Yep.
thank you for watching and subscribing, and give us a thumbs up if you like it.
And we're gonna, if you're new to our channel, we left Minnesota in November, and so now it's almost January 1st. We're in Florida, but we've been a lot of places in between, and we are going to be in our van until we get back to Minnesota in May. 4 more months left in our van.
And our next video will be the 5 things that we love, because there's plenty more of the things that we love about living in a van versus what we hate.
Okay, thanks for watching.
Like and subscribe.
Bye.